Right, well, welcome back, viewers. There's gonna be a slight disconnect between this episode and the last episode, mainly because I had like a minute and like 20 seconds of footage left. As you might imagine, we did win the battle at Chang, so that is sort of that, and we managed to push back a whole group of like little panicked units here. Come to think of it, we might actually be able to trap this pocket if we do like a little envelopment move here, seeing as how this area is just completely neutral for whatever reason. So going from here, I mean, we have two more battles. We have Yeondeok and Seoul. I think Seoul will be the more interesting one out of the two, so we'll play that one. I want to see whether or not I can use my ships on this battle, so I'll just save the game real fast once more. So new save, LP2. There we go, and we'll do Seoul. So let's see. Yeah, so this is gonna be, ooh, yes, we can bring in naval boats, some of the big old battleships too. Oh yes, this is gonna be glorious. So yeah, let's go. Oh, this is gonna be a massive grindcore battle too. The morale points for this one is more so of a full game. Wow, let's do this. Yeah, because we're going to have to kill 400 points worth of their units, so we're going to have to annihilate half of their army here. Really interesting. So it's going to be centered around this portion of the map. There's a nice little canal here that we can actually squeeze some boats through. So let's do this. So from our navy, I'm under the impression that we're going to have to we can deploy our infantry here as well. Okay, that's fair. I'm trying to figure out how our troops are going to come here, because I'm under the impression that you can't actually buy any of your regular troops from the naval sector, apart from helicopters and stuff inside the naval section. So yeah, with that sort of said, it's kind of iffy, I want to say, about buying these troops. For example, these Avengers, we're not going to be able to buy them. Unless we capture one of these zones, is the impression that I'm getting. So with that said, what I want to do here is that I'm going to try to build up a... I was going to build up a stock of infantrymen, because I figured that would be a good way to go. I think I'll buy a few land units just right now. And yeah, this battle is gonna be quite tense. It's gonna be quite it's gonna be a really big battle in general. So I think I'll buy a few troops like that, some Oliver Hazard parries. I'll get the recon teams to land and scout out for targeting. And I think I'll just get our guys going, I suppose. Buy a little trickle of Marines here. Probably gonna need another scouting unit here as well. And what I think I'll do is that I'll buy a few of these patrol boats here. One of those things. And... I want to say one Super Cobra, so let's go with that. And... really? Oh, these are helicopters, okay. I was just like, are they really just gonna camp the shorelines? Because if they did, if they were just gonna camp the shorelines, I'd actually be fine with it. Mainly due to the fact that my my Oliver Hazard parries have these great AA guns, which are just able to pick off enemy boats or enemy helicopters, and they also have this little autocannon thing, which makes them really rather effective. So yeah, these the NATO boats are actually surprisingly effective at taking out ground targets, and I'll show you guys why they are like such. You know what? I'm just gonna do a test here. Can I buy the Marine infantry? Like to me, it would make sense if I was able to. I'm gonna shell my naval craft, so it's gonna be. Oh yeah, we can buy infantry, so that's good. Slightly worried. Yeah, these naval boats in general, they have a little autocannon naval gun on it, and it's just able to lay out like tank rounds as if it was an autocannon, and it's able to hit at 3 or so kilometers from the coast. So with that said, I mean, so long as I have these Oliver Hazard parries around, they're just able to shell the living crap out of enemy things, but they can't go into those little canals, which is slightly problematic because that's kind of where we need them the most. Now my troops are going to land over here. They're going to... I don't even know what they're trying to shell now. No, they apparently have a lot of helicopters.
What's the plan?
What are they mobilizing there? Ground force is perfect, because as soon as they enter that 3-kilometer range, our naval boats are just going to be able to pound the living crap out of those.
My staff and myself are ready, sir.
Now, in the meantime, they want to drop some artillery on our boats. They're firing like STRBs. Yeah, these guys are they gonna hit? No. These guys are river boats, so they can actually enter the canals, and that's what I plan on using them for in a second. He's going to launch a T-34 retaliatory little attack here. He's actually going to kill off his own little supply boats or cargo things here, which is fine, because our Oliver Hazard parries are just going to rain death and destruction upon his T-35. No, I really want to say T-34, but I know these are T-55s. Yeah, our ships are just going to rain a barrage of artillery rounds on them. Their cannons are actually supposed to go up against infantry. Evidently, they don't do too much damage against tanks, but they panic everything, and because of their firing rate, they just gradually whittle them down. Still don't want any of my LAVs getting hit, though. Those tanks are probably too panicked to land, but I really want to soften up the beaches, if you will, before my Marines land. I think we'll bank closer to the port here where my infantry can dismount and get into those buildings immediately. Damn, I see those scout helicopters and I really want to pick them off because they're fairly valuable. I have some of these Super Cobras armed with infrared missiles which can do the job, but that's a little bit risky. Looks like they just want to kite around our forces, that's fine. I'm gonna get my Super Cobra to hopefully take down that one. Let's see what we can do. Don't believe we've lost anything just yet, so I mean we are still very heavily in the plus. Run away, little scout helicopter, run away. Run while you still can.
I'll set up a new command post there.
They are probably going to regroup and they're probably going to launch a little attack of their own soon. But that's alright, because our troops are going to be using this canal to advance in a little while. You know, I think that is actually the enemy's comms vehicle. Which is perfect, because my STRBs are actually armed with Hellfire missiles. And they can snipe things up to like 3 kilometers away. It's not very good though, I don't want them to take fire, because they're actually fairly brittle. Yeah, ATGMs will rip these guys apart, which is rather unfortunate. So I'm gonna get these STRBs to pull back. See, the downside about these things is that they're really rather useful as sort of kitey vehicles, but they're really brittle at the same time. And I think I only have 2 of them, so this is not gonna be good if they get taken out. I think I'll just repeat this area in a little bit. I'm gonna pull them back, get my ground forces actually moving. And you know what, in the meantime, I can move one of the bigger Oliver Hazard parries over here. These guys are still actually... Like, the boats inside this game are surprisingly susceptible to enemy fire, just sort of in general. Or enemy ground fire, just in general. But the Oliver Hazard parry should be able to last long enough in the fight to either destroy anything that is targeting it, or just in general suppress ATGM systems to the point where they can't return fire. And you're seeing the STRBs in the back here clear this area up with their little rockets. Speaking of which, they should be still firing. Don't know why they're not. What is that even? That's a Susang Po. It's a little missile launching carrier. I think I'm actually going to get these LAVs to pull back. I actually really like these LAVs, more so because I like them from Battlefield with their grenade launchers, where you can just shell the living crap out of people. Yeah, there's some sort of ATGM launcher in there. I want to figure out where the building is and then just right there. See how the Oliver Hazard parry does. Yeah, that just ruins their day. What are they massing now? Just AA guns, apparently? No, a few tanks, and I see a lot of AA guns. So our infantrymen are starting to crawl forwards, and all of our hazard parries are just providing so much support. It's just glorious. Alright, well, I mean, their troops are really starting to push forward here. So that is good. Troops are on the ground. Stuff is still continuously shelling me, though, which is a bit of a problem. But our ships are going to rearm. Namely, those STRBs are hopefully going to rearm. You can't rearm when people are shelling you, that's the thing. Oh, that's not good. If one of those missiles hit, that's going to take this thing out. No. Yeah, no, these troops are just going to push up through these buildings here, but they're going to need ATGM support. I have a few. I have some of these LAVs. They usually come with one variant that has ATGMs, but I guess that one doesn't. So what can I do here? I know he has some sort of a net there. What can I do? I'll just call in some more boats, because we can. I mean, you have these monitors, and they're also river-going boats, but they have little rocket launcher, or artillery pieces, not rocket launchers. They have little howitzers on top of them, so we can use them to shell out people. And that's a supply truck cargo convoy. If we can capture them, that'll give our land forces some ability to supply themselves a little bit better. There we go, perfect. It's going to give us some land ability for resupply, so that's going to be good. Yeah, for these FOBs, they have like supply capability roughly close to like one boat's or one FOB's is worth. The problem is that the boats use much more, to say the least, supply than your land forces. So it's nice that we have some cargo boats there now. I think I need to buy a TACCOM squad for the factory complex over here, and our boats can protect it pretty well.
I'll be there soon.
So get the Oliver hazard parries to set up a little defense network here. Now that the STRBs are kind of repaired, I'll send them up along the canal, and I can just get my troops to follow them. Here, I'll leave the Navy SEALs. I'll take the Navy SEALs with me, and I'll leave 3 squads of those US Marines to defend this little factory complex. What are they still shelling? Oh. I see. I want my infantry just to sort of crawl through this village. This field can be covered by these little naval craft really rather easily. Oh, I see. These battles are also on a time limit, so we might go over the time limit here, and that'll just reduce the amount of fighting needed to win the next battle, I think. It'll just like lower the morale on both sides. They essentially chalk it up to heavy fighting. Yeah, because this scenario, I'm gonna just say right now, I don't think I'll be able to finish it in the given time. Get the STRBs to make a little run on the stuff over here. They can ATGM anything. Come on, take those carriers out. That'll disable their missiles. No. That might... Still have launchers back there. They have the infantry mounted ones. I don't want to lose these river patrol boats because they're quite valuable to me, just due to the fact that they have missile systems, but they're actually only worth 70 points. So I'm gonna pull them back. Ooh, that might hit. No. Yes. They can run away pretty fast too, which is kind of amusing. More North Korean militiamen. Yeah, no, those guys are not gonna last in the face of US Marines. But they're only worth 5 points too.
comes down to the infantryman and his right. Sir, yes, sir. It always comes down to the infantryman and his right.
Right, well I think this village is being secured nicely.
On your ass and on your feet. Let's move.
Wonder what the maximum engagement range is for helicopters. I want to take down that recon heli, because those things are also pretty valuable too. Yeah, the main thing about here is that any losses that we could incur onto the North Koreans, it factors into the game later on as well, so it'll be nice if we're able to move forwards there. That command squad should be coming over here soon. I think I'll buy some more Marines and stuff, though I don't think we'll have a chance to use it
What can the
fully.
infantry do for you, sir?
Speed up the game a little bit here.
You'd be blind without us.
Now, I know that the North Koreans have some artillery pieces inside this area, or they had artillery pieces in this area. I want to try to find them, and I want to try to take them out. We could also actually try to force the North Koreans to actually retreat by taking all of their comms vehicles out, which it'll end the battle, and it'll get them to retreat out of this tile, so we'll then be able to bring in some of the logistics, and I mean like the real logistics, not the actual craft itself, but like the stuff involving, say like Abrams tanks and stuff like that, some of the really rather heavy troops. Is there anything over here? Ah, found the command.
March for me. Move it.
Alright, now crossing this bridge is gonna be problematic, but
Sir, yes,
that
sir.
should be manageable. Come
Nail the
on,
bastard.
small team, get line of sight on that tank.
Nail the bastard.
There we go.
Off your ass and on your feet.
That's gonna
Let's
decap
move.
this zone.
Got the binoculars, Corporal.
Now, with only 5 minutes left, I'm going to have to figure out a way to get into Charwang. And all I want to do is that I want to get into that zone, find their command unit, not necessarily kill it off, but push it away, and that'll be able to cap off this section of the map on the strategical map. Damn, those...
Platoon is formed and ready.
You know, with all of these recon helicopters, I would say that I wanted to sneak my troops through this zone, but that's going to be just too much. Now, I recall buying some monitors, and these guys are going to be decently accurate, assuming that we have spotting, so get the Navy SEALs.
Enemy in the dead end.
Yeah, no, we're not going to be able to finish this in time. That is really unfortunate.
Why does it always have to be me?
We might be able to do it. We've done a ton of damage on them though, so that's good. But it looks like this battle will have to be a multi-turn battle because there's just no way we can finish this in the time allotted. Unless this command vehicle is in here and we shell it to death.
What's up, sir? We'll give him your regards.
It's starting to work its way around. And I know I can just go the opposite way here through another bridge, but I mean, in doing that, do I really have the time? Well, I suppose not anymore.
Scatter formation. Set a new observation post.
Yeah, what I should have done was that I should have kept my guys on those LAVs because that would have helped tremendously.
Retrieving this area.
We're starting to get at some points inside that zone. But no, the North Koreans are not gonna be backing out here anytime soon. Oh, that's gonna get my little patrol boats too. Thanks. Alright, well we can land some troops and cap this zone, so hopefully next battle will actually start on the ground instead of in the seas. Actually, either way really goes. I mean, if we start on the seas, I can just use a tremendous amount of troops to just wipe these guys out, but I mean, it works. So what this will do is that it'll draw out the battle, it'll lower down the amount of points for both sides, and what that'll do is that that'll make it so that the next battle will be concluded with smaller point values, so that'll be good.